Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Tamara Allen, and I am here with the beautiful Cherie Amor. And this is Pussycat Talk Podcast. Welcome, Cherie Amor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming. We're so happy to have you.
I'm excited.
Awesome. So, Cherie, what exactly do you do?
I do so many things, but people definitely know me for catering to women that suffers from hair loss. I've been in the hair game for quite some time now. I cater to women that suffers from hair loss, such as alopecia, cancer, lupus, thyroid, and etc.
So, what made you decide to get into that industry?
Well, I've been in the hair industry for a long time. I've always been fascinated by hair, right? I remember when I was about, I want to say 7, 8 years old, and I was very young, but I can remember this just as clear as day. I thought that it was really cool that someone can look different, that my peers can look different with a different hairstyle. I was very obsessed with having a different hairstyle. I was not the kid that you give me 2 ponytails and you want that to last for the rest of the week. I'm crying on Wednesday because it's been in Monday and Tuesday. Okay?
I can relate to that.
My mama knew, you got to switch it up. You got to put the bobo up here with the 2 in the back, and then you switch it up with the 2 in the front and 1 in the back, and then maybe 1 at the top. And I just felt like that was super duper amazing. You know, for somebody else, my friends probably didn't think of nothing like that. But I'm looking at my friends like, wow, you look so different with your ponytail today. Your ears stick out a little bit more. Or I was even fascinated with hair textures, right? That was major because when you're young, you don't understand
Correct.
why my hair might be curlier than yours, or your hair is finer than hers, and her hair is way longer than, ours. It was a thing, but I wasn't fascinated by that, and I just always thought that was cool.
It's interesting because I grew up, my grandmother, she did hair, and it was a requirement for us to know how to do hair. Now, mind you, we got some years between us, double digits. But I remember doing hair at 11, and that's what took me all the way on to, actually, I was pregnant with Alex, as a matter of fact.
Oh, wow.
And, once I was working in a salon and I almost slipped, and that was it for me. I said, I'm done. Hair has always been a love. It was just it's a skill set that it never goes away. Once you know the real way, it's always with you. But we're not here just to be talking about some hair, or
No.
we're not here just to talk about the fact that you help all. Now, I do want to make sure that I showcase that this woman is amazing with women who have alopecia, and just the love and the care that she gives to women who are dealing with alopecia, hair loss, is just phenomenal. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted her on, that she just gives back to the community in such an amazing way that she needed to be showcased for that.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna let you guys go and follow her Instagram on that, so you can see all the amazing customers that she has helped. Tearful women were, once they leave her salon, they're like a totally different person. But I want to get the backstory on Cherie Amor. She's from New York, and now she's here in Atlanta, Georgia. So we want to get the backstory. What's it like to be in the life of Cherie Amor?
It's really exciting to be in the life of Cherie Amor, honestly. So many things happen through the course of life. I did take a major loss, right, which led me to actually catering to women that suffer from alopecia.
Okay.
My mother passed away from cancer. She had pancreatic cancer, and, she lost her hair, right? So that's where tapping into women that suffer from hair loss, right? But I was always taught to have fun and just enjoy life,
Yes.
right? And just be that and live in the moment, and don't rush success, and don't rush being in a relationship. Don't rush anything. Let everything come to you naturally the way that it's supposed to come. So living my type of life, sometimes I do live on the edge, right? Because I'm going to take the chance. I might jump out the window depending on what it is. And that's that, I stand firm in who I am. I always knew who I was, right? And even when I evolve, I always come back to surface with who I am, and I stand 10 toes down on that.
So are you married or are you single?
I'm not married. I am very much single. It is not complicated for me, and I am waiting for my future husband.
Okay, so you answered that question because, we in Atlanta. So, they do a lot of stuff down here in Atlanta. So when you ask me, I'm just like, are you for the she or are you for the he? So I'm just, making sure.
No, I am for the he.
Okay, you for the he?
Yeah, I love me. I love me a good man.
You a good man? Okay, so what do you got to look like?
I love my man to be fit. You know, he doesn't have to be pow, 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 but he needs to be about pow, pow. I love shoulders. I love arms. I love a masculine man, and I love a man that knows who he is, and he walks around with that, you
Sense
know,
of
that
confidence.
confidence. Like that is so sexy to me when a man walk in the room and know exactly who he is, and he is not driven by money. He's not driven by the cars and the clothes. Right? He understands that, that is just that just adds value to who you already are, but the root of who you are is like super duper amazing. I love a funny guy.
So you'll hook up with a blue collar worker?
I would if he has a fun side. He can't just be straight blue collar,
Okay.
right? You know,
Okay. So what do you mean by straight blue collar? What
like
you mean?
like I love me an intelligent man. I love a man that knows his, knows exactly what he got going on. Is into his work and things of that nature. But I also need him to have that other side, right?
Okay.
I want to laugh. I want to joke. I mean, everything is not always serious, right? I respect your business, you respect mine, but we have to have some type of balance. That downtime. Everything ain't always by the book. Like we gonna get on a plane and we gonna fly. We're just gonna jump out. Like I mean, I am a risk taker. He doesn't have to be, but he can cheer me on from the bottom, and I see him down there, type of thing.
So it's okay for him not to make as much money as you, because you make a lot of money. Okay.
Everybody asks me that.
Oh, let's keep it real now.
I need a man to come in and add value.
Okay.
I honestly do not. I would much rather a man who just really is in a very good space with himself.
Okay.
Because that also comes with confidence and things of that nature. And a lot of men who are not in position, they come with a lot. Sometimes they can be intimidated by me. I don't have to say anything. A lot of times when I meet guys, they ask me what I do, and I say I just do hair. I don't tell them what type of hair I do. I don't tell them who I work with. They don't need to know who my friends are. They ask me for my social media. I give them the business page where it's nothing but hair. They don't see me. There's absolutely no pictures of me on the hair page, because I feel like when I do in the past, I've given them my page and then they see who I interact with and who my friends are. And I have millionaire friends and I have friends that's doing amazing things. And sometimes it kind of, it messes it up. So I try not to, indulge
It's intimidating.
in like those type of conversations. Yeah.
Because you got a
I want
strong
you-
personality. I mean, you are from
Yeah.
New York.
I am from New York.
Okay,
Very
you are
sharp.
okay, them New York women to be like, we were like, dang, okay,
Very
calm
sharp.
down, let's bring it down a little bit. But hey, I'm from Chicago, so it's no difference,
Right.
being a strong woman. So, and some men are intimidated, and to me, that's on them, not
Not
me.
on me.
That's
And I
not
won't take accountability and I won't be responsible for that.
correct. I mean, it's more of, I love that alpha male. I don't mind him being laid back. I love him laid back myself.
Yeah.
But I gotta have an alpha male because you gotta know how to handle me, even
he
if you're
doesn't
soft. Right.
have as much money as me,
Right.
if he has that confidence
Correct.
and I feel safe with him and you have a plan and we can put that plan in motion and I can put you in position to win, then let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so
Because
you don't mind building them up.
I don't mind helping him build, not build him up.
Well, I'm a little bit old school, so again, we got some double digits on us in
Because
age.
it might mean the same thing.
That's
what
what
do
I'm
you mean
saying.
by build him up?
I mean, because a man could have a whole lot of dreams, and I want you to have more than just dreams. I want you to
Right.
have some aspirations where you're trying to
Absolutely.
execute, okay? And if he has a plan that he's trying to put together, that he is putting together, but he may not have all the information and you have the information, you're helping him build up.
Yeah. helping
That's
him
what
build.
I'm speaking in reference to.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not talking about being you a man. I don't want a
You
grown
come in
baby.
here broken and I gotta
Yeah, I
build
don't
you from the
have
ground
time
up.
for that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
That's a
talking.
no-no.
Yeah, I'm not speaking. I'm talking about somebody who was wanting to do something, but
Yeah.
just he may be missing pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
And it's like, wow, oh, you have that information, and then all of a sudden he was able to flourish because there are a lot of black men that are out there. So,
Yep.
since we're talking about that, so does it matter what color the crayon is of the man?
Well, I've never dated anything outside of a black man. So I don't have any experience in that. But if he's a good man,
Okay.
I'm down for whatever. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? But
It's the
as a
chocolate
brother
bunny.
man,
Okay.
honey.
All right.
Black
So,
man.
how do you feel about sleeping with someone on the first date?
That's just not my thing.
Okay.
Right. It's just not my thing. Listen, I'm not judging you ladies, right? Because I've been around. I personally never had a one night stand. And I've never had a one night stand. I'm a little corny. I like to stick to what I know. You get what I'm saying? I may even circle a block. You get what I'm saying? But I don't want to add a person on. You know?
Okay.
And that might just be a me thing. No shade to anybody else. But, it's the comfortability in even having sex with someone for me. You know what I'm saying?
You're letting somebody into your aura. It's like,
I have to spread them wide, and I have to allow you to come in on a certain type of time. I'm not poking you. I'm not a man. It's not the other way around. So for us, it's a little deeper.
correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
So,
we tend to, whatever that comes in, it's like, it's like you're latched onto them,
Yeah.
that pheromone. And a lot of women don't understand that now. It's just that right now, the way the culture is, the women are like, da 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 da. I'm like, whoa, calm.
yeah, they don't care.
I'm just like, girl, you
I
giving
care.
all the milk. Don't want, you wondering why
I care.
he don't want the cow because you already gave him the milk.
I care.
It's like, it's crazy to me.
It is.
And I'm just like, and then you wondering why you by yourself,
Yeah.
And so I ask those questions because, again, social media has allowed a lot of things to come to the forefront. And a lot of people are able to be themselves, per se, because of it.
Right.
How do you feel about these young ladies showing all their body parts on social media?
I think that at this point, enough is enough. Seriously. Enough is enough. And it also depends on how they're doing it as well, right? Because we have the influencers that's, trying on clothes. We ain't really talking about them because it's done a certain type of way. We're not talking about the women that are in bathing suits and all they do is travel and things of that nature. This is what they get paid for. They're influencers and they're influencing you to travel and things of that nature. We're not talking about the women that are working out, right? And we're not talking about them. We're just talking about the ones who just deliberately just want to take off their clothes and they want that type of attention. And that's not okay.
So who is because I really don't pay attention because I just think it's, hey, you can be mad if you want to. I don't care. Was it the Blue and the Chissian? I can't remember her name. But they're like always fighting on social media. And I'm just like, what kind of image? You're a boy mom. You have is it okay for me to mention that you have a son?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a boy mom. Okay. And if your son, and how is he a teenager yet?
Yes, my son is 18.
Okay. So he 18.
Yeah.
Oh, so he all up in it right now.
I have
Okay.
an 18-year-old son.
Whoa. So
That's nuts.
right.
That's
so
nuts.
how is he dealing with all the women? Because his mama's beautiful, so we know he's chocolate and beautiful. So
Right.
how is he dealing with all the women coming at him?
My son he's a whole New Yorker at heart, and my son loves the attention. He really do. But he does have a girlfriend, and he's really maintaining that at a young age.
Wow.
I even see him say, "Why are you walking on that side of the sidewalk?" Or if he's driving, and he'd be like, "Why are you touching your car door?"
Come on, somebody.
I love that. I'm paying attention to it. But the truth of the matter is that I'm raising my son for somebody's daughter to feel safe with.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So that
Absolutely.
brings me so much joy that he knows how to treat these little ladies. He know what it is to take somebody out on a date, right? That's major as well. That's why I am putting him in position to be great. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Get him his property and do these major things for him and put him in, in those quotas where he's able to do whatever he wants.
So is he going to school or?
Yes. So my son will be going to college. He took a little time off. I'm all for that. He's super excited to do the whole campus thing.
That's awesome.
He has a clear understanding that college is an experience, right? Because outside of that, we already know what he's going to do. We already know he's going to be a multimillionaire. We already have the build up. We already have the plan. But I told him that college is an experience, and it's definitely something that you should experience. Don't let it pass you by. You young, because after college,
it's different.
It's real
life
life.
Is different. It is
Real
so
life.
different. College and real life are completely different. My sons had an opportunity to go to college as well. My youngest son, he stayed home, but then he had a house with his roommate. But it's like, hey, it's nothing like going away to college.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different experience.
Absolutely.
And you kind of learn who you are when you go. So that's good. I'm glad to hear that, although now everything is about the skill set. It's reverting back. what you know, skill set says some people don't want to go to college because they don't want the student loans, but he doesn't have to worry about that because he got
No,
mom, you
that's right.
know. And I think that's the way it should be. It's like, don't put yourself in so much debt. Learn that skill set so you can get out there and do the things that you need to do to make the money. So I wanted to just have people just kind of get a little bit of background of kind of who Cherie Amor is. Just, you know, she a New Yorker here now, an ATLian, helping women who, you know, have hair loss. She's a beautiful mother. She has one son, and she want a good man, a nice alpha man. You don't mind if he's a blue collar worker, okay? So
Yeah.
what is your passion? What are some of the things that you like to do? You know, what do you like to do when you're not working, when you're not in front of, you know, being Miss Glam Cherie Amor? Because
Right.
y'all have got to see some of her pictures, okay? Oh my goodness. So when you're not the beautiful Cherie Amor, what's your comfort zone? What makes you, what's the most exciting thing that you like to do?
I like to sit on my couch and just watch movies all day. That's a real thing. I love wearing sweatpants. I will
Okay.
throw a pair of sweatpants on with a pair of shoes. I'll dress up a pair of sweatpants, okay? It's like the most comfortable thing ever. But I'm a New Yorker, so we just like to have fun.
Okay.
Right? Here in Atlanta, I think people's fun is the club and out to eat. No, no, no.
Can we do something else besides out the club and
No, no,
eat?
no. Like, I like to bowl. I like to skate. I like
I
to,
love skating.
yeah, I love skating.
Grew up
I
skating.
grew up skating. I grew up bowling, right? Anybody from New York, they know about Empire. They know about the Key. That was our hangout spots, you know? Bowling, that's like major to me. Like, I'm a bowler for real. Like,
Okay. So
I,
I'm seeing a different side.
I'm a
See a
bowler
different
for real.
side.
Don't pull up at the bowling alley and think you're going, because it gets real competitive. I love ATVs.
Oh, I love me some ATVs.
I love boxing. I used to
Okay.
box. I boxed for years when I was younger. Like, I love boxing. Boxing is my thing. Is my go-to. It gets my adrenaline running. I
Y'all
ain't
better
trying to
not
beat
mess
nobody
with her. Y'all,
up.
okay? She know how to box,
But I
okay?
love boxing. Like, you know,
You'll go to a
the
fight in a minute.
yeah, the mental
Yeah.
space that it puts you in, the rocks that you get off when you're stressed and you're going through things, the discipline that it actually teaches you, the boundaries that it sets between you and another person.
Okay.
And it teaches you how to walk away from a lot of things because you do know your own
You know
strength.
how to
That's a
know.
real thing. You know what I'm
That
saying?
could be
So,
considered a weapon. So
absolutely.
you have to be careful. You know, I know they say when you know how to box, you got to be careful because you know you can be arrested just because you know how to box, which is crazy.
I've
You
had
know,
that experience.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
But my hands are not licensed. So I'm going to get you in
What?
and
Why
come
aren't they
home.
licensed? You're a stylist.
No, my hands are not licensed as far as boxing is
Oh,
concerned,
okay.
right? Because you don't want that. Because if you do manage to get yourself into a situation, guess what? You're going to jail.
That's crazy.
But if they're not licensed, then
It's self defense, so to
it's
speak.
self-defense, so to speak. And I'm coming home.
So the other question is, because you are amazing at what you do, are your hands licensed for the profession that you're in?
Yes, my hands is licensed for the profession that I'm in. And I tell people all the time, get your hand licensed. I know that might not be a thing. People don't really know about that, but you should. Like, if anything goes wrong, what are you going to do? What happens, right? It's kind of like self-employment. Like, you just like set yourself up in a way you could cut your hand and you might can't be able to use your hand for several days. Like, this is a real thing. My hands has been licensed for years before it was a thing, before people even knew that was a thing. And when I say it out loud, people think that I'm bugged out.
No, it's just that that's another way of protecting your income and yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, and you're a very smart businesswoman.
Yeah.
All right. And again, you know, we talk about that with our fanpreneurs, protecting the family, protecting the asset, making sure that, you know, we have these things in place. Because again, you could lose everything if you don't
Absolutely.
have that source of
Yep.
income coming in. So that's smart, ladies. If you're a stylist, you know, if you're a barber, insure your
Get your hand
hands.
license, yes.
Okay. Insure your back for
Yep.
that matter, because you're standing up all day.
And my feet, too.
Okay. You know, you're standing up all day. I remember that when I used to do hair. So those are things that you need to consider so you can make sure that you have that workman's comp, so to speak.
Yep.
You know, when you're doing, even if you work for yourself and if you're paying yourself the way you're supposed to with a paycheck, okay,
Yep.
you know, then of course you can get those insurances to protect yourself.
Yep.
So let me ask you something. When you're out here every morning, what is your routine? Like, what is it that you do to keep you going on a day-to-day basis?
But when I wake up in the morning, I give God my time. I didn't always do that. I think the first thing I used to do is go straight to my phone. And it wasn't even emails, right? It was Instagram. Instagram and invoices and payouts and, you know, all of those things. Those are the first things that, you know, I used to do. Not anymore. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is pray, and I give God 30 minutes to an hour of my time. After that, I work out.
What was the change? What made you decide to change that?
I was listening to the 4 Agreements.
Those are my favorite.
And let me tell you something.
Yes.
It really changed my life. And it's not something that you listen to one time. It's something that you have to consistently listen to, because then it becomes a part of you.
It's a reality check.
Yeah.
Especially the one about not taking things personal.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's major.
And assuming.
Yeah.
And that's where the miscommunication comes in from. Because you're assuming that somebody said something. That's not what the person said.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody is clear in their words, be clear and concise in what you say.
That's right.
Because that way there's no misunderstanding. Because that's where all the problems come from. That's where wars have been started, because of misunderstanding.
Yep.
So when you are impeccable with your words,
Yep.
okay, again, it's the 4 Agreements.
Yep.
All right. Which one is your favorite?
I would want to say it's 2. And let me tell you something. I didn't really know how much of a change I needed before I listened to that. The first time I listened to it is because somebody else told me to listen to it. The second time I listened to it is because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But then I started listening to it every single morning. And I'm like, well, my son needs to listen to this every single morning, right? Because our teenagers, they battle through things, and they're in this space where, you know, they want to be here, they want to be there. And that really humbles you in every aspect, in every way. Seriously.
I want to make sure I didn't forget them. It's be impeccable with your words.
Be impeccable with your
Never
words
assume.
is major for me.
Right.
Because, baby, from New York, and I'm a little sharp. And there's a lot of times where my delivery was off.
So you worked on that.
Yes, I worked on that. And people may not remember what it is that you said, but they'll always remember how you made them
said
feel,
it. How you
right?
said it.
And I never want to be that person. And a lot of the times people confuse being real with being rude.
Correct.
Right? And talking at people or talking to people, which are totally 2 different things.
So whose fault is that? Would you say it's your
kinda
fault
like-
because of how you delivered it? Or is it their fault because they didn't understand you?
Sometimes it was probably my fault how I delivered it, because I come from a place where, you know, I come from the hood. And a lot of the times keeping it real was being aggressive, right? And you don't have to be that, right? So if there's a client in my shop, right, and she's acting out, I could do 1 or 2 things. I could be like, yo, what's up? Or I could be like, can I talk to you for a second outside? What seems to be the problem? What exactly is the issue? How can I help you with that?
That was straight New York.
I haven't always been that person.
That was straight New York, okay?
I would be
like,
so
what you gonna
quick
do?
to take it to the streets, because sometimes when you grow up with people, they look at you like you're them.
Right.
And they don't want to accept this new you. They don't want to
Correct.
accept the boss in you. They don't want to accept that you are a business owner now. So the respect level is kind of like you have to really set the tone. And sometimes when you're coming from where they're coming from and you haven't had the proper training, and the best way of life is through experience, right? You are actually learning how to be the boss that you are trying to set yourself apart to be.
And you're showing
You
people
know?
how you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I had to change the tone sometimes. Like, well, you know, Cherie, you didn't have to say it like that.
That's true.
You know? And I circled the block and apologized. And these people are still my clients and they understand. And I expressed to them like, well, listen, this is what you did and this is how you made me feel. How do you think you made me feel? You know? And it's all about definitely
Respect.
choosing your words wisely.
Yeah, so be impeccable with your words. Never make assumptions.
Yeah.
And the last one is always do your best. It's the third one I can't remember right now because there's another one. Look that up for me real quick. 4
Isn't
agreements.
being impeccable with your words number 2? Is it number 1?
Be impeccable with your words is number 1.
Okay, then it's number 1 for me.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, be impeccable with your word. Never assume. But the last one is always do your best.
Always do your best.
Okay. You mean don't half-ass do something. If you're going to do it right. You know, I would explain it to my kids, you know, my sons. Yeah, don't take anything
about that. I
personally.
thought that was
Yeah, I did mention that. Never take anything personal because it's, again, that deals with assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
It all aligns.
Right. You know, and again, that's where wars end up, you know, going into place, you know, so it's like how you come across to people. It's crazy, you know, being from Chicago, coming down to Atlanta, you know, they're like, oh, you're aggressive. No, I'm just direct. Okay. Never confuse me being direct.
We're being
You'll never misunderstand where I'm coming from because you're always going to know how I feel because I'm going to be very direct with you.
Right.
And I think, you know, sometimes that has hurt me. Sometimes, you know, I've had to pull back like you, kind of change the way I come across. But as I got older, it's like I'm not apologizing for who I am.
Right.
This is me. Okay. You can either accept me or not
Or you
accept me.
don't. And I think for me, I am probably the softest version of myself. I am really living in my femininity version of me, and I love it. So I
Yes.
don't have to raise my voice, and I don't have to get crazy, and I don't have to tell my side of the story, and I can let people think whatever they want, because guess what? The way that God has everything set up, he's going to sit me at a table, and people are going to be able to judge me for
Okay.
themselves and say, hold on, that person was wrong. And it has been done, right? So I'm always going to be who I am, but I don't have to be the person I used to be, because somewhere down the line there was some anger. I was bothered, right? I was hurt. I fully forgave.
So since you said
I
that, do you
mean,
believe in counseling?
I do believe in counseling. I had a therapist, and she was amazing,
Okay.
you know. But let me tell you something. You got to be ready for it. And you got to really do the work, because your therapist is going to challenge you. She's going to take you to when you was younger. She's going to take you to places that you never thought that that's really where it
Yeah, where
extended
the root
from.
of the problem came from originally. This
And
is
you
where the
gotta
root.
be able to have that tough skin and have those tough conversations and be honest with yourself, and don't be lying, and be brutally honest and face yourself so you can fix yourself.
Because that's really what it's all about. So you can communicate better with people. So you can have a better life. Okay. Jeesh. Okay. All right. Well, I got a couple more questions for you before we wrap up.
do it.
So, what is your dream? Meaning, what is one things that you haven't done in your life that you want to do? Like, I gotta do this.
There's a couple of things that I haven't do that I gotta do this. I want to be on a different type of level of success. And I want to live on the other side of, like, because being rich is not a thing. It's more of the wealth, right? And the things that I'm passing on and what I'm doing it for and things of that nature. I have family members that are counting on me, you know, and I don't just do it for me anymore. I think when I first started, I never necessarily really did it for me. But in this big age, I'm doing it for everyone, you know, and that's major for me. And I have to get on the other side, and I ain't going to stop until I get there. That is necessary. I think that the one thing that I always wanted to be was married. I think marriage is an amazing thing. I know it can be hard. I know that it comes with, you know, circumstances, and I know you bump into those roads, but I always wanted to have a husband, someone that I can say, this is mine's, and I'm his, and we're doing this together. And we're not afraid to have those tough conversations about the things that we actually been through and things of that nature.
So, are you saying you're tired of doing it by yourself?
I've been tired of doing it by myself, but I don't have a choice. And guess what? I'm going to do it smiling. I'm going to do it the way that God, you know, wanted me to do it. You know, when God is ready for me to meet that Mr. Right, I'm going to be patient, keep my 10 toes down, continue to navigate in my, you know, my femininity and things of that nature. And I'm ready for him right now.
So you could be domestic, is what you're saying.
I could be whatever you need me to be.
Okay. Because some women now saying, I'm tired of working. I'm tired of this. I want to be a homemaker. I mean, there's a lot of women that are starting to say that now.
I still want to move around. I still want to shake and bake. Because, you know, right after me, I'm tapping right into my son. I'm still going to be helping him with his business and things of that nature. You know, my brother just came home. He was in the feds for the last 9 years. And he's ready to get to it.
My brother's in jail currently.
Yeah, he's hungry. And he's doing a podcast, right? And he wants to talk about what goes on in these jails. And guess what? He already got a plan. And I'm going to help him. I'm going to help him get to wherever it is that he wants to get. Because he ain't going back. And if that's what's going to save his life, and this is going to be the thing that saved other men's lives, then we going to do it. So I'm busy. I ain't never really going to sit down like that. But I do want somebody to come into the midst to be like, today you don't have to do that, baby. You know.
So are you willing to do that for him?
Absolutely. Baby, sit down.
Okay.
I got you, baby.
It got to be some level of balance, because sometimes I remember seeing this brother, he was in his car and he was just crying, and he was just like, I'm tired of going to this job, because men go,
they go through those things.
It's like, they got to be strong. They got to be the father. They got to be the husband. They got to be the man. They, like they can't be soft ever. And I feel that that's so not true.
Right.
I feel that, hey, if you got to cry, and we got to understand as women that we got to have their back and not judge them.
Right.
And just think, oh, you're weak, because of it. Because there's nothing wrong with someone, who's going through something, to express that, even if it's a man.
Yeah.
because we love you guys,
We love
especially our
you.
black men. Okay.
Yes.
All right, we love y'all.
I love you.
Yes, we love you, honey.
I love you.
All right, so you like a chocolate man, or you like a strawberry man, or you like a pecan man? What?
Strawberry.
Yeah, light skin, bright. Like,
I mean,
is there a
my
preference?
son father is like, and that's exactly where it stopped for sure. But I love me a brown skinned man, a dark skinned man, just a black man, caramel man, a peanut butter man,
Okay, pecan brown. Okay.
So
Well,
it's
I mean, some
cool.
women, we dark skin beauties end up attracting the lighter of our community. For some reason they want all that melon. Okay, but no, but like you said, some people have a preference.
Yeah.
So I want to know if you had a preference.
But he has to have height.
He has to have height. So
I can't
if
do
he's a
him
good
short.
man and he 5'5", you're not gonna take him.
I don't know. I'm be honest. I don't know. I don't know. I think no. I don't know.
So if he 5'5",
Oh my God, not 5'5".
if he 5'5", how tall are you again? 5'8".
I'm 5'6".
Okay, so if you
But I'm a
5'6",
shoe girl.
okay, so if he holding his own, okay, and he treating you right, you gonna let that 5'4", 5'5" man go? I mean,
I probably turn him into the bro.
He's
My
bringing you
cousin. That'd be my cousin.
He bringing you flowers, okay?
My little cousin.
But
I'm
everything is checked off on the list. So you're saying you're not flexible?
I haven't been put in that situation, and I pray that God gives me the man that my heart desires with the height. God, come through, baby.
Guess what? God got a funny sense of humor.
He do have a funny sense of humor, but don't let him lack the height.
Okay.
Right? Or the other stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because he can have the height and not have that. He could be 5'5" and got it and swinging with the third leg. I mean, come on now. He can have everything checked off the box. Great lover.
We gonna see
all that.
Okay. I have it, but
I was gonna say, don't miss out now.
I don't like them real big, and I don't like them real short. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
I love all my kings, but we got preferences, right?
Right. We have a right to our preferences.
You got some men that be like, I don't like no women that wear wigs and weaves. Well, I ain't for you because I wear them all the time.
But the point is, are you flexible? Okay. Are you flexible with this must-have list? Is the question.
Well, I'm
you
flexible with certain things, right? We talked about the finances, right?
Okay.
I'm a little flexible with that. I mean, you can't be flexible with everything, right? But
he could be the one. He could be that man that's supporting you. He could be. I mean, he could be everything on that list.
He could be,
except for the height.
We gonna see. I ain't gonna knock it.
Okay, so I got one other question since we said that. Does he have to be a great kisser?
Absolutely.
Okay, because some men can't kiss.
Listen. I was in a relationship with somebody for 10 years, right? And all we did was kiss. His kisses were like amazing.
So it has to be a mesmerizing kiss.
A mesmerizing kiss. Like his kisses was like amazing. I ain't even going to front. I know he going to be, if he see this, he going to be smiling from ear to ear. But it's a thing,
Yes, for women it is.
I'm passionate. And
for women it is.
Loving, and I like to rub on the back of your neck a certain type of way and, bring my arms and bring my hands down, your shoulders a certain type of way.
Exactly.
Like, I am a hopeless romantic, and that is a real thing. Like, so don't just be slopping on me and just kissing me any type of way. I'm not
gross.
into that.
Is that gross? Is that gross? Like, ugh.
It has to be right.
Like giving you a bath and you're like,
yeah.
Okay, so since I said that question, I got to ask you this because you said you're a hopeless romantic.
I am.
What if he's not a hopeless romantic and he doesn't know how, he brought you some chocolate covered strawberries in a Kroger bag. What would you do? I'm
like, this was such a nice gesture. But baby, next time, can you please make sure that it come in a box that it's supposed to come in? It don't hurt to, I think that it's
women like
wrong.
The presentation. Doesn't matter what the amount of money it is.
I think there's nothing wrong with telling a man exactly what you like. Because I feel like men come into a situation and they don't hold back. I learn a lot from men. They don't hold back about what they want. Whatever it is that they want,
they will tell you,
exactly.
This is what I want.
And if they don't verbally tell you, they going to show you. So if they want some ass, you going to know they want some ass. If they want something real, you're going to know they want something real. They do not come into a situation really BSing for the most part. And they going to tell you what or what they not going to put up with, even if they a whole bum. and ain't got
Okay.
nothing. They gonna
Okay.
tell you what's up. So I come into the situation too. I'm not aggressive or anything like that because that's just not my character. But I have absolutely, I mean, no problems with telling a man
I had to
what I like and
tell
what I want.
I had to tell him I sent my son something today, my youngest son, and it was called a football contract. And because when football season, because he is such a sports fanatic, and he laughed so hard because it was the cutest thing. And his girl was here, and he said, you see this? We cannot do this on my day." And then my other son, he had bought his girl, a girl that he was dating, and I said, "Son, you cannot give it to her like that,
Right.
because you'll turn a female off." And I had to show him. So here it is. He was in a relationship and he got this tree house and flowers. I said, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. A
Yeah.
woman she wants the fairy tale.
Yeah.
Whether you're
And
going to
what's
be
the
with or not.
problem?
The women want the fairy tale.
Yeah.
They want to feel like they're in a fairy tale.
Absolutely.
Okay. So is there anything else that you want to share with our audience?
You know, yeah, you guys know I'm a hopeless romantic. I love to just have fun. I'm very outgoing. I'm extremely outspoken. I have a huge heart, right? And I'm just out here just trying to make an impact daily. That's what it's really about. And it ain't just through women that suffers from alopecia. Anybody that's on my line, these are the type of conversations that we have. And I always want you to be the best version of yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? I just had somebody come back into my life that haven't been in my life for a long time. And I don't know what he expected, but I had to tell him, I'm not that no more. Like, I'm not confrontational.
You're a different person.
Like, whatever you believe in. Like, I might not believe in what you believe in. I might think that that's all BS. But if that's what you believe in, I want that for you. And I genuinely love you, and I always loved you, and I'm always gonna love you. But I can't go for that, or my integrity doesn't stand for that, or I have boundaries for that, and that's okay. I don't think that he was ready
He wasn't prepared.
for the non-confrontational, right? Because as women, we always want to be heard, and it's, hold on, wait, what? And everything got to be, no. No, that's what you think. That's how you feel. That's great. But that's
awesome.
not who I am. So once it started arising, I was like, I don't do that. I don't.
He was surprised. He was like, what?
There's no chaos, no confrontations. There's nothing going on
Like,
here.
this is a different person.
It's a
Who
totally
am I
different
dealing with
person.
right
I'm
now?
very soft spoken. I want to respect you. I want to respect where you are as a man. I want to respect you as the king that you are. And
because men can change you. Men can change you. It's like,
I don't want to be that.
I remember I was in a relationship. I was
did the
married
work.
to this person, and I actually never raised my voice. I never yelled, because most of the time when women raise their voice, because they want to be heard, because they're not being heard.
Right.
And I remember one time I raised my voice, and my son said, "Mommy, do you think that yelling is going to make it different?"
better.
I was like, "Yes, absolutely. I'm going to raise my voice." I'm the shortest person in the house, but generally when people raise their voice, they're not being heard.
Yeah.
And then it feels like for them to raise their voice, now you're going to hear them.
Yeah.
So you have a foundation.
I do.
What is your foundation?
As far as what? What you mean?
Here I am.
So I do. I started Here I Am a while ago. It's a long story that I'm going to make it really short. So I was on my way to Virginia. I was coming from New York. I was going to North Carolina. And I was in a car with my son. I got pulled over in the state of Virginia. He told me I was doing 115 and a 70, but I wasn't. My car was on cruise control and it was on 85. So when he realized that, he asked my son how old he was, and my son was younger than 16. And because my son was sitting in the front seat and I was speeding, that was now child neglect situation.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they arrested me, they took me in, they kept me, and I had to go back and forth and fight this case for a whole entire year. I was facing a year in jail, and then when they finally got me in court the very last time, they kept me for 40 days. Let me tell you something. Most people would have freaked out, not me. I was like, all right, God, because God will sit you down. So at this point, I'm like, well, if he really wanted me to do time, right? Because I wasn't in that situation because of the actual things that was happening. I was in that situation because God was giving me time to actually sit and put things together and come up with a plan. And He wanted to plant something. He wanted to plant a seed within me, and He wanted me to actually grow it. And He said to me when I was in my jail cell, He said, if you do not move on this, I'm going to give it to somebody else, and you're going to be upset. Right? So you wanted a way out of coming from behind the chair, and I'm giving you a way out. And this is going to be the start of something amazingly great. And I put that in motion. I got out in August 4th, and I did
What year was this?
This was 2019. So
Wow.
2020, I did my first Here I Am in New York City, and
Wow.
it was amazing. And then I turned around and came down to Atlanta and did one in 2021. So now I'm doing another one this year that I haven't announced, but now you do know, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be insane, and every time I do it, it's gonna be better than the last time.
Wow.
So here I am.
Do you guys hear that? So
Yeah.
where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram. I am the real Cherie Amor, the real, the right way. TheReal, ChereieAmor.
And can you still help women with alopecia still?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And men.
And men.
And men.
And I just started a community.
Oh.
So we're about to take this to a whole nother level.
I know we didn't talk a lot about the alopecia portion because I want you to get to know the person.
Yeah.
Okay. Who you're dealing with and how she can help a lot of people. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back with another episode. Thank you, Cherie Amor.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you being here. And that's Pussycat Talk Podcast. We'll see you next time.